Welcome to this week's edition of The Weekly Review, your one-stop shop for everything that happened last week. Today we've got a whole host of interesting segments for you, like a film review, a special guest interest story, and a special report on the wonderful world of Legos. But first we're going to send it over to Colin Cloud with the weather.
Yeah, so this week it was, well actually the last couple days it's been fairly warm for the time of year. It's been, looks like, mid to low 50s, which has been pretty nice. We haven't had snow in a while. Earlier this week though, around Monday, Tuesday, it was in the low 30s, below freezing most days, which was fairly cold. I think a lot of people noticed. Finally though, and then last weekend, which is the final part of this segment, it was actually pretty warm again. So the weekends have been nice recently, including this one. But aren't weathermen supposed to make predictions about what the weather will be like in the future so they can help people? How does this benefit anyone watching? They got to live through the weather. They know what it was like.
This is the weekly review, not the next week preview. Anyway, now that you know what the weather was like last week, we'll send it over to Colin Coward with what's new in the exciting world of sports. Sports. This week in sports, we had a lot of big news. First off, Nebraska. Football team played Wisconsin. Played a good game, ultimately lost. It was rough. Looked better than normal though. Good job, boys. Better news, Nebraska women's volleyball continued an excellent start to the season. Not much to say other than we will be back in the final and it will be a different result this time. On to men's basketball. I'll be honest, it was a terrible start to the season. It took us till our fourth game to collect our first win, and it was against South Dakota State University. On a side note, shout out to my player of the match, Baylor Shireman. On a much better note, Nebraska women's basketball is continuing an unbeaten run to the start of the season, and they look like they're going to go far this year. That's all we got in the world of sports. Now, on to a film review for the film Joker. I am now being told that Joker was apparently not age appropriate for all kids, and we will as such not be reviewing it today. Our special guest is not ready for his interview yet, so I will tell you all a story. One day, while standing on a field turf, a friend picked up a handful of the rubber and said, "There's no way you'll eat all of this." And I said, "Watch me. This next part is a PSA, kids. Don't eat rubber. You will become violently ill." I am now being told that our special guest is ready for his interview. Take it away, Colin.
Thanks, Colin. I'm pleased to be joined here today by Crocodile Colin, world-famous explorer, ecologist, and animal rights activist. Colin, I understand that you've been exploring the vast region of Australia, is that right?
Actually, no, I don't really do microphones. We do it all natural where I'm from. Thanks, though. No, you're fine. Yes, actually, I've been out in the outback looking for a new species that I've discovered, and then we need to, protect, like conservation, all that fun jazz. Yeah.
Fascinating. And you've actually found some new species?
Yes, actually, I brought some of them here today. If you don't mind me showing, this little guy. This is my friend. He's a miniature jaguar.
Yeah. So you're
native
going
to
to bring
Australia.
them out.
Very rare. Might be the only one in existence, actually. Oh yeah, I haven't named him yet. So what we have here is a blue monkey. Now you might say to yourself, I didn't think monkeys could be blue, and you would be right. What actually happened is he's from India, where they make a lot of dyes, and he fell into a dye vat and he became blue. This made it so the other monkeys didn't want to play with him on the monkey jungle gyms. So instead we took him under our wing, and now he travels the country with me trying to raise awareness for monkeys that have fallen into vats of dye. So that's his story. And now you might want to stand back. This one's a little more dangerous. Tail. Aha, and head. There we go. Yeah, this is a monster, all right. So what we have here is an 8-meter long anaconda from Jamaica. Now, the anaconda is not a native species to Jamaica, and if you thought that at home, you're correct. Actually, they're native to South America. We assume that one traveled via boat to Jamaica and fell in love with the whole Jamaican culture, as evidenced by his cool hat. So yeah, there's nothing really unique about him other than he wears the cool hat. He is a vegetarian though, so look at this. Put my hand right in his mouth, never bite me. Wrap him around my neck, won't constrict me at all. That's right. He's a nice guy. So yeah, that's actually all the animals I brought with me today. The rest are all in a giant, wonderful enclosure that in no way is demeaning to them at all, because that's what we care about in the World Wildlife Federation.
Alright, so thanks.
Well, no, thank you for letting me come on and just spread this great message. And kids, if you want to go explore the outback like I do every day, it's simple. Start small. Learn about the animals in your backyards, like squirrels and garter snakes and fire ants. Well, then you move up in the world, maybe start working in a local zoo. That'd be a great place to start, and eventually, you too can be an outback explorer.
Alright, so thanks for joining us here on in this segment about the wonderful world that is animals and the animal kingdom. Back to you, Colin.
And with that, we come to the final segment of today's show, a preview of next week's documentary into the lives of grown men that still play with kids' toys. Enjoy. If that doesn't get you excited to tune into next week's show, I don't know what will. Unfortunately, that brings us to the end of today's show. So, on behalf of me and everybody else here at the studio, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.